Hi, I'm Margaret Lewin and welcome to Margaret Lewin Quilting. Today I'm bringing to you the very first part of making our travel duffel. We're going to be doing this project in 3 separate videos. So for today's video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the notions and the fabrics and getting everything cut so that you know exactly what to do to be prepared for next week when we start putting things together. But I felt that it was important that the first thing we do is at least get all of our pieces and parts ready to go. What I have done to start with is I have cut out the big pieces of fabric. So this fabric is called Dear Mum, and it is by Robin Pickens for Moda. And I really am very pleased with it. I think it's just going to be gorgeous. What I have done at this point, as I said, is I've cut out my 3 pieces of fabric. This is all my accent fabric. This is my lining, and I'll open it up so that you can really see it. This is my lining fabric. You can see I have already quilted it. I quilted it with a thread called Date Plum, which is a King Tut thread. And the quilting pattern that I used is called Mum, M-U-M, and it is by Nancy Hackey for Wasatch Quilting, and I really think it is pretty. I like the fact that you can somewhat see the quilting on the inside lining, and if you look at the outside of it, you really barely see it. So it's really the boldness of the fabric that stands out, and I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. This bag is actually going to be for me, which I'm pretty excited about. Once I got my big pieces cut out, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to set aside the quilted fabric that I've already done. I'm going to start first by working on my accent fabric and getting all of my notions together. So things like all of the hardware. This is the hardware bag that comes in your kit, and the strapping. Here's our 1.5 inch strapping. This kit calls for a lot of strapping, but if we look at the pattern and grab the pattern back, you can see we have strapping that goes around the handle here, and then we have strapping that goes here for the shoulder carrier. So there is a lot of strapping used in this quilt, but the way Annie has us doing strapping, it's really easy, and I think you'll like it. And I'm going to add another little component to it this time that I haven't done in the past. So make sure you stick around for that part. Once I get all of my accent pieces cut, and I also get all of my notions pieces cut up, then I'll start working on my quilting fabric. So I'm going to set this aside because that's not one of my first things I'm going to be working on. And I'm going to pull out all of my little handy dandy clips. I want you to see how I've organized these things. You can see I have done as Annie suggested, and I copied the last page in the pattern that has all of the dimensions of the fabrics that we're going to be using. And I've created 4 piles. My first pile is all of my strappings. My second pile is everything that I need to cut from the quilted fabric. My third pile is everything that I need for my coordinating fabric. And my fourth one is my interfacing that I need to cut. And to that I will add my strapping and things like my hardware, all of that. Now I'm just going to do that separately on my own. So for right this second, I'm going to set aside my interfacing along with my strapping, and I'm actually going to take one of my Wonder Clips and I'm just going to clip it together because I really don't want to lose that one little piece. I need it for later on. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to remove my quilted and my strapping pieces, and I'm going to put those back with my strapping. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to my pressing station, and I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to spray the back of it with either Mary Ellen's Best Press or with Magic Sizing, and I'm going to get this good and starched up. Once I've gotten this good and starched up, then I can start cutting things out. So I will come back once I have this starched up and I have gotten all of my pieces cut so that you can see them all laid out and see how I organize them to get this project started. I have cut out all of the coordinating fabric pieces that I need. I kind of have it here in a messy pile, but I've cut everything out. I'm going to try to put the bigger things on the bottom at least. And I am now ready to go ahead and start cutting on the quilted fabric. But before I do that, I really would like to caution you on something. When you go to start cutting these pieces, please go look at the pattern, especially if you haven't read the pattern yet. You really need to, because Annie will give you very, very good directions on exactly how you are supposed to cut this, because you have enough fabric, but you don't have a lot of extra. So you should be able to get it all cut based on how she laid it out, but please do double check that and read it, okay? Because it will make a difference. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move on to my quilted piece of fabric. Now, she did the same thing on the quilted piece of fabric. She indicated exactly how you should lay it out to cut it. So please make sure you follow those directions. All right, everything is cut out. This is my outside of my duffel bag, and I'm really excited about it. I just think this fabric is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm really excited about putting it together with this as my main fabric. Then this is all of my accent fabric. So that's really basically what it's going to look like from the outside, and I am really, really excited. Now remember, this lighter, I'll pull this piece in. This is the inside of our bag. So I always like to use a lighter fabric on the inside, only because I think it really helps to be able to see what's in there. So that's the main reason why I like to use a light fabric on the inside. So this is as far as we're going to go today. Next week, what we're going to do is start putting all of the inside components together. And there's a couple new things in this one that we haven't done before as a group. So it will be nice to learn something new and different, because we all know we like to do that. So thank you so very much for joining me today. If you would like to make this duffel bag, please pop on over to my website. We're also doing it in a secondary colorway, which is William Morris, and I'm going to stick a picture of it right up here so that you guys can see what it looks like. Both kits are available on my website. Just pop on over there and get your kit. I'll see you again really soon. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Bye.